Imagine waking up every day, excited to start working on something you're passionate about. Imagine having the freedom to set your own schedule and pursue your dreams on your terms. It's a life that many people dream of, but few ever achieve. But what if I told you that it's not as impossible as it may seem? All around the world, people are leaving their 9-to-5 jobs and starting their own micro-businesses. These one-person businesses are nothing new. Street merchants in ancient Athens were doing it centuries ago. The best part? You don't need a lot of money, experience, or an MBA to start your own micro-business. Ordinary people are doing it every day, often with no funding and no detailed business plans. Two designers started selling custom-made maps online and quit their day jobs after just 9 months. A piano teacher created software to manage his students and turned it into a full-time source of income, generating over $30,000 a month. The only things you need to start your own micro-business are a product or service that you can sell, customers who are willing to pay for it, and a method for them to pay with. It's as simple as that. The most important stage in the process is making the choice to act. Don't let internal insecurities and fears hold you back. Take the leap and become your own boss. It's a lot simpler than you think. Chapter 1. Samantha loved nothing more than hiking in the great outdoors. She dreamed of turning her passion into a business, but she wasn't sure where to start. She knew that simply leading hiking tours wasn't enough to make a living, so she needed to find a way to provide value to her customers. Samantha began to research the needs of hikers and found that many struggled with finding the right gear for their excursions. She decided to use her expertise in hiking to create a business that would help hikers find the best gear for their needs. But Samantha faced a problem. She didn't have any experience in retail or business management, and she didn't have the skills needed to run a successful store. However, Samantha was determined to turn her passion into a business, so she began to transform her skills. She started by reading books on business and retail management, and she reached out to other business owners in her community for advice. She also took online courses to learn about marketing and branding. As she learned more, Samantha realized that her love of hiking gave her a unique perspective on what hikers needed from their gear. She began to write blog posts and create videos that provided advice on what to look for in hiking gear, and she used social media to connect with hikers around the world. Soon, Samantha's business took off. She opened a store that specialized in hiking gear, and she used her expertise to help customers find the perfect gear for their needs. Her passion for hiking and her dedication to providing value to her customers made her business a success. In the end, Samantha learned that passion alone isn't enough to start a successful business. But by finding the sweet spot where her passion, skills, and the needs of others met, she was able to turn her dream into a reality. Chapter 2. Lily had a passion for baking. She loved nothing more than spending hours in the kitchen creating delicious cakes and pastries. As she got better at baking, she started to dream about opening her own bakery. But Lily knew that to succeed, she needed to provide something of value to her customers. She began to think hard about who her target market might be. She knew that her bakery would appeal to people with a sweet tooth, but she needed to dig deeper. Lily started to observe the people who came into her local coffee shop, where she often sold her baked goods. She noticed that many of them were young professionals who came in on their way to work in the morning, looking for a quick breakfast or snack to take with them. They seemed to be health conscious, but still willing to indulge in a treat every now and then. Lily started to tailor her baking to this target market. She experimented with healthier ingredients, like whole grains and natural sweeteners. She also created smaller portion sizes, perfect for a quick on-the-go snack. She talked to her customers, getting their feedback on her new creations, and fine-tuned her offerings until she had a selection that her customers loved. But Lily didn't stop there. She knew that even if her baking was delicious and healthy, she needed to make sure that her target market was interested in buying it. She started to advertise her bakery on social media, targeting young professionals in her local area. She offered promotions and discounts to encourage people to try her baked goods. To her delight, Lily started to get orders. Her bakery was becoming more and more popular. But she didn't stop there. She kept talking to her customers, asking them what else they needed. She found out that many of them struggled to find time to bake at home, but still wanted to enjoy homemade treats. So she started to offer baking classes, teaching her customers how to make their own healthy baked goods. Through her hard work and dedication, Lily had created a successful business. She had found her target market, tailored her offerings to their needs, and provided them with something of value. By understanding her customers' deepest needs, she had crafted an offering that they loved. Chapter 3. Meet Chris, a budding entrepreneur who had just started a micro-business that sells handmade soaps. He had put all his efforts into making the best quality soaps using natural ingredients, but despite his efforts, he was struggling to attract customers. He realized that he needed to put some effort into marketing his products, but he had a limited budget. Chris decided to take the advice of a marketing expert he had met at a networking event. He learned that the key to great marketing is to focus on the core benefits of the product, rather than the physical features. He realized that his handmade soaps were not just about cleaning the body but also provided relaxation, nourishment, and a natural alternative to chemical-laden products. He started to get creative with his marketing by giving away free samples of his soaps to customers at a local farmer's market. He also collaborated with other local businesses, such as a spa, to offer his soaps as part of their services. Chris started writing guest posts for popular blogs about the benefits of using natural soaps, which helped him to build a loyal following. But Chris wanted to take it to the next level. He decided to use strategic giving as a marketing tool. He started donating a percentage of his profits to local charities that focused on environmental conservation and animal welfare. He also started volunteering at these charities, which helped him to build a strong relationship with the community. Word of mouth quickly spread about Chris's high-quality soaps, his commitment to the environment, and his philanthropic efforts. Customers began to rave about his soaps on social media, which brought even more attention to his business. Soon, Chris's handmade soaps were in high demand, and he could barely keep up with the orders. Chris realized that by focusing on the benefits of his products, getting creative with marketing, and using strategic giving, he was able to build a successful micro-business on a limited budget. He knew that if he continued to provide value to his customers and remain true to his core values, his business would continue to thrive. Chapter 4. Alex had been working on a new product for months. He was determined to make it a success but knew that the worst nightmare for any entrepreneur was not selling a single unit after all that hard work. To avoid this, Alex decided to meticulously plan and prepare for the launch of his product, much like a Hollywood movie premiere. He knew that a successful launch was all about creating hype and anticipation, so he started hustling and self-promoting like crazy to build up an audience of prospects and customers. Alex engaged with his audience well in advance of the launch, telling them all about his new project, why it would be valuable to them, and how the launch would unfold. He kept reminding them of the launch date and the details of the product to keep them on their toes and build up their anticipation. Finally, the big day arrived, and Alex made it as easy as possible for his customers to make a purchase. He had already built up a sense of excitement and urgency around the launch, so the decision to buy had already been made earlier. Alex had also planned the launch so that customers had a limited time to get the product at a particular low price, and he reminded them of this fact as the deadline approached. That little extra nudge often turned hesitation into action, and the window of opportunity created a sense of urgency that drove sales. As Alex watched his sales start rolling in, he felt a sense of relief and excitement. He had done it. His product was a hit, and the launch had been a huge success. He had created something that people wanted, and his preparation and attention to detail had paid off. Alex's launch was so successful that it even caught the attention of the media. The story of his product launch became an inspiration to other entrepreneurs, and Alex's product became a must-have for anyone in his industry. In the end, Alex's success came down to his thorough preparation and his ability to instill a sense of urgency in his customers. He had created a product that people wanted, and his launch was the perfect way to get it into their hands. Chapter 5. Sophie loved the idea of being her own boss, setting her own hours, and creating something that people would love. So, When she finally decided to take the plunge and start her own online boutique selling handmade jewelry, she was thrilled. Sophie spent months creating her products, building her website, and getting everything ready for launch day. She was so excited to finally share her creations with the world. But after the first few weeks, Sophie started to get worried. She had barely made any sales, and she wasn't sure how she was going to keep her business going. That's when Sophie realized that she needed to focus on her finances. She knew that her business needed to make money in order to survive, and she needed to be proactive about it. So, she sat down and looked at her expenses. She realized that she had been spending money on things that weren't necessary, like fancy packaging and expensive advertising. She cut back on those costs and focused on what was really important, creating great products and getting the word out about her business. Sophie also started to focus on increasing her income. She thought about new products she could create, ways to expand her customer base, and how she could improve her website to make it easier for customers to shop. She started tracking her sales and looking for trends. When she noticed that certain products were selling particularly well, she created more of them. And when she saw that some customers were having trouble navigating her website, she made changes to make it more user-friendly. Thanks to her focus on finances, Sophie's business started to thrive. She was making more sales than ever before, and she was able to grow her business in ways she had never imagined. She realized that no matter how passionate she was about her business, she needed to make sure it was making money if she wanted it to be successful. Chapter 6. Maya had always been fascinated with the idea of starting her own business, but the question of how to make it profitable often eluded her. After doing some research, Maya discovered that the key to making her business successful was by providing a subscription service. She realized that with just a few hundred subscribers, she could generate a significant amount of revenue each year. Inspired by this idea, Maya launched her own subscription service, a monthly box of healthy snacks and supplements. She was surprised by how quickly her business took off. Within months, she had hundreds of subscribers eagerly waiting for their next box. Maya's success didn't stop there. She learned that pricing her product based on the benefits she provided, rather than the cost of production, was essential. She realized that her customers were willing to pay a premium for high-quality, organic snacks. After a year in business, Maya decided to raise her prices. She was nervous about how her customers would react, but to her surprise, they were thrilled. They told her that they felt like they were getting a better value now that the prices were higher. Maya also decided to offer a premium edition of her subscription box. She knew that some of her customers would be willing to pay extra for even more exclusive and high-quality products. And just like she thought, her premium edition quickly became a popular choice. But Maya didn't stop there. She knew that to maximize profits, she had to keep tweaking her business. She experimented with her website copy, trying out different phrases and calls to action to see what worked best. She also focused on driving more traffic to her website and converting more visitors into subscribers. With her focus on providing a valuable subscription service, pricing her product based on benefits, and constantly tweaking her business for optimal profitability, Maya's business thrived. She was amazed at how far she had come and couldn't wait to see what the future held for her and her business. Chapter 7. Lena was a successful entrepreneur. She ran a small business selling handmade jewelry online. She loved her work, and it brought her a decent income. But lately, Lena had been thinking about taking her business to the next level. She wasn't sure if she wanted to go big or just expand a little. Either way, she knew she needed a plan. Lena began researching different growth strategies and found out that entrepreneurs generally grow their businesses vertically or horizontally. She decided to explore both options. Vertical growth meant offering more services to her existing customers. Lena realized that many of her customers were also interested in learning how to make jewelry themselves. She started offering online tutorials and classes, which not only generated more revenue but also built a deeper connection with her customers. Lena also explored horizontal growth by creating new offerings that appealed to different customers. She noticed that some people were looking for more affordable jewelry options. To address this, She started selling simpler designs at a lower price point, which attracted a whole new customer base. As Lena's business grew, she found it increasingly difficult to manage everything on her own. She considered outsourcing some tasks, but was unsure if it was the right choice for her. She did some research and spoke to other business owners who had outsourced before. In the end, Lena decided to outsource her packaging and shipping tasks to a third-party company. This allowed her to focus on what she did best, making jewelry. Lena also knew that if she wanted to sell her business someday and retire on a Caribbean island, it needed to be scalable. She started documenting her processes and creating standard operating procedures so that someone else could easily take over the business in the future. In the end, Lena decided to stay small and continue growing her business slowly. She enjoyed the personal touch and connection with her customers and didn't want to sacrifice that for more growth. With her new strategies in place, Lena's business thrived and she found success on her own terms. Chapter 8. Emily worked in the corporate world for years, and she knew that she was ready to make a change. However, she was overwhelmed by the idea of creating a complicated business plan, and she wasn't sure where to start. One day, she stumbled upon an article that changed her perspective on entrepreneurship. It said that action beats planning every time, and that keeping plans simple was the key to success. Inspired by this advice, Emily sat down and wrote a one-page business plan. She jotted down what she wanted to sell, who her target audience was, and how she planned on making money. After creating her business plan, Emily decided to focus on her mission statement. She knew that she wanted to help busy professionals stay healthy, so she crafted a Twitter-length mission statement that reflected her passion. I help busy people plan their workouts so they can feel good and keep fit. As Emily began working on her business, she encountered many people who offered unsolicited advice. However, she remembered that she didn't need anyone else's permission to succeed. She learned to trust her own judgment and took the leap. Emily's business took off faster than she ever could have imagined. She kept her plans simple and focused on taking action. Before she knew it, she was making her first sale, and it felt amazing. Emily knew that she had made the right decision to start her own business, and she was grateful for the advice that had given her the courage to take the leap. Finally, the insights and knowledge I gained from reading The $100 Startup were phenomenal. I highly recommend it. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and if you found value in this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more great content. Trust me, you won't regret it.